Right now, try to tickle yourself. Go on. Dig your fingers into your own ribs, the exact spot where someone else could reduce you to helpless laughter. Nothing happens. No laugh. No squirm. Your own hand, doing the same motion that would leave you gasping if anyone else did it, produces almost nothing. You are physically incapable of tickling yourself, and you never stopped to ask why. But the real answer is far stranger. This tiny, silly failure is a window into one of the deepest tricks your brain performs every second of your life. The reason you cannot tickle yourself is the same reason you can tell the difference between the world moving and you moving through it. That small dead patch where the tickle should be is the fingerprint of a hidden system running beneath everything you do. Here is one strange fact about your brain. It does not just react to the world, it predicts it. Before you move a single muscle, your brain has already built a forecast of what that movement will feel like, then compares that forecast to what actually happens. It is doing this right now, for every twitch of every finger, faster than you could ever notice. Prediction is how your brain saves attention. The world floods you with more sensation than you could ever process, so your brain does something ruthless. It ignores everything it expected and only flags what is surprising. A sensation that matches the prediction gets turned down. One that violates it gets amplified, because surprise might mean danger. Your whole experience of reality is filtered through one question, asked millions of times a second. Did I see this coming? When you move your hand toward your ribs, your brain knows because it is sending the command. As the signal goes out, a copy of it fires to another part of the brain, a memo that says, "Heads up, we are about to touch the ribs. Here is when and where and how hard. Scientists call this an efference copy. By the time your fingers land, your brain has already predicted the sensation down to the millimeter. So it does what it always does with the expected. It turns the volume down. That shrug is why you cannot tickle yourself. There is real science behind this. A neuroscientist named Sarah-Jayne Blakemore built a machine that let people tickle their own hand, but with a twist. It could add a tiny delay or change the direction between the movement they made and the touch they felt. And the more it altered the timing or angle, the more ticklish it became. When the touch matched the brain's prediction, they felt almost nothing. But add even a fraction of a second of delay, and their own hand could tickle them. The prediction had been broken, and the sensation came roaring back. The ticklishness was never about the touch. It was about the gap between what you expected and what you got. A tickle from someone else is unpredictable. You cannot fire an efference copy for a movement you did not make, so your brain has no forecast to compare against, and the sensation hits at full, unfiltered strength. Tickling is not a special kind of touch. It is a special kind of surprise. Now here's where this small trick becomes enormous. That same system runs underneath your entire life. When you walk, your brain predicts the world sliding past your eyes, which is why the room does not lurch with every step. Your brain constantly subtracts the parts of reality that you are causing, so what remains is the part that matters, the part you did not do. The reason you know where you end and the universe begins is, in part, this mechanism. Your brain tags everything you cause with a quiet label that says, "This one is me. Ignore it." Everything without that label is flagged as not you. You cannot tickle yourself because your brain has already claimed the sensation as your own. And when this system fails, the consequences are profound. In some cases of schizophrenia, this mechanism breaks down. The efference copy misfires, and a person's own actions stop feeling like their own. Their inner voice can feel like it belongs to someone else, because the brain never got the message that it was self-generated. Remarkably, some studies find that people with these symptoms can, in fact, tickle themselves. The inability to tickle yourself is a quiet sign that the boundary of yourself is intact. So the next time you press your fingers into your own ribs and feel that flat nothing, understand what you are testing. You are not failing to tickle yourself. You are watching your brain draw the line, millisecond by millisecond, between you and everything that is not you. Right now, try to tickle yourself, and when nothing happens, know that the nothing is the whole point. That empty silence where the laughter should be is the sound of your brain recognizing its own hand, reminding you where you end and the world begins. If this made you see your body differently, subscribe, and never take an ordinary sensation for granted again.